What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today, ladies and gents, this series is going to be coming to an end. We are going to make it to the playoffs. We already clinched a playoff berth. This game versus Minnesota, they're 9-5. They already beat us this year. Whoever wins this game is going to win the division, most likely. They will be in the driver's seat, most likely. Of course, whatever happens in week number 17 would determine a lot. If we win and they lose, we would have a better record. Therefore, we would win the division. But we have the same record. If we have the same record, they are going to win the division. So this would obviously be America's game of the week. Chicago is the home team. The Vikings are outside of the dome. I love games like that where a dome team has to play outdoors. I don't know. I just like the aesthetic of that. But this thing is coming to an end, man. I don't know if I told you guys this. Before the Buffalo Bills series, after like a couple years in, I was like, okay, how can I get this game to play right? Because when I was playing this game with the Buffalo Bills, I was like, okay, offense is a little bit too hard. Defense, I can live with the defense, but the offense is a little bit too hard. Receivers, like I told you guys this, if I make bad reads, that's going to cost us, right? That's going to cost us because our team is going to make mistakes. So when receivers are dropping passes, when I do make a good read, it just kills, it kills all the momentum that you could have had to maybe come back and maybe put the game away or whatever. So I started to manipulate the sliders back then in the Buffalo Bills series. And I realized that when I changed the sliders, the whole game changes. To me, it shouldn't be that way. If I upgrade my running sliders, I should be able to run the ball better. But nothing else should change because I feel like nothing else in this game needs to change. I just need to be able to move the ball a little bit easier on legend difficulty than the game allows. So maybe I need to bump up passing accuracy for myself or wide receiver catch. I did that, and the wide receivers started catching everything. We started to win more games. I was like, okay, maybe that's too easy. Let me bump that down. So then I left the wide receiver catching a little bit boosted, but took the took my accuracy, the user accuracy, back down to the normal legendary status, and they were still catching the ball fairly easily because my reads aren't horrible all the time. These picks are magnified, okay? I'm that left tackle that nobody talks about until I give up a sack or get caught holding like 35 times. So I feel like that's usually what happens. I throw the ball, perfect pass, it bounces off of his shoulder pads, his number, whatever, it falls to the turf, it is what it is. But for this game, I was like, man, I know that there's issues with franchise, with the drafting, like they draft nothing but quarterbacks, tackles, halfbacks, and defensive linemen, and I'm like, okay, I can get over that. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Because the gameplay in this game, to me, is still top tier. It's still top tier. I say that All Pro Football 2K has the best gameplay out of every game, but I do feel like there's more of a fun factor with Madden. And I'm not saying because I'm doing this, I have to have fun every single moment or every single game. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is I would like to be in a little bit more control, and I don't feel like I have control. Because in this game and in other games, I have bumped up, going to this series, Buffalo Bills series. Oh, let me say this. After I manipulated the slides in Buffalo Bills series, I went back to just going to straight legendary. And I was like, okay, let me maybe put it on all pro for offense. Then when I'm on defense, go back and switch it to legendary again. And that worked for a little while, but even then it got like kind of out of hand. I'm like, I'm not doing this because I value my time. And I have to edit these videos. You can probably tell that's me editing. I ain't got like no fancy editor, doing this stuff for me. So I got to do it either late at night or early in the morning before I have other responsibilities I have to get to during that day. So I want a part of it to be enjoyable. And the gameplay takes the longest. Me recording these takes about an hour. I can edit them in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And the commentaries as long as the video is. Sometimes I have to chop it up, if I feel like I need to like redo a part or whatever. But I just feel like the gameplay should just be what I want it to be, and it's just not that. And the gameplay, like the way this game plays, is beautiful. It is top notch. I can say that the game plays like better than even the PS2 Maddens because Madden, they're more stiff, and this game they're more fluid. But when it comes to like the actual game itself, I want to be able to tell the CPU, hey, I want these quarterbacks to throw the ball back. And so that's my next point. In this series, I have bumped up the CPU and receiver catching to the maximum. To the maximum. And Dante Culpepper in this game cannot move the ball to save his life. And the only thing I can think of is because I have bumped up my rushing. I turned down the user passing, user receiver back to default, and I just bumped up rushing. And the same thing has happened where it's like now it's a blowout. And I tell you this, I would much rather get blown out and have you guys talk crap about me in the comment section about how I'm no good or whatever. I'd much rather have that than me blow out the CPU. That's no fun. That's no fun to blow out the CPU. It's no fun blowing out your boy, like, you know what I mean, like 3 times in a row. Like, that's no fun. The first time, yeah, that's funny. Second time was like, you need practice. Third time was like, I'm not doing this no more. You need to get better. But, you know, I just feel like there's nothing that I could really do in this game. And then they also, the only downfall to the gameplay in this game, I would say, to the actual gameplay, is the fact, outside the sliders, is the fact that you can't spy in this game. So I can literally just run with my quarterback all day. And for me, it's hard to pretend. I can make rules, because I made rules in other series on this channel, on my first channel, all the time, where it's like, okay, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do it. In the game, it's like, I'm not just going to sit here and take an L. If you ain't going to watch my quarterback, I'm going to run. And I don't need Bowman to run. I could run with Lindsey. Yes, Bowman was more of an athlete. He was more of a Mike Vick, Lamar Jackson, Steve Young, Cam Newton, Fran Tarkenton, Randall Cunningham type quarterback. You know what I mean? I probably didn't need to list all them quarterbacks, but you know what I'm trying to say. But it's like he rushes for 1,400 yards. But I could easily rush for like probably 800 yards with Lindsey because they just won't watch the quarterback. And that's another downfall in this game. So I do think that the PS2 Maddens, when it just comes to playing the game, to me is better. When it comes to just playing the game, is better. And I think because the 360 Maddens for the most part were trash, the PS4, Xbox One Maddens for the most part were trash, that talking about 2K, you're like, yeah, this old game, look at this. There's, you know, people on YouTube that point things out. And you'll be like, yeah, this actually does look dope. Wow, they actually did have this back then, and so on and so forth. And it's like, but it's like, is realism more important than like the fun factor in a video game? And to me, I would say no, because even like NBA 2K has gotten into that lately, like probably the past handful of years, I want to say, where realism has trumped it. My favorite 2K, and this is like post my team, post Ultimate Team and stuff like that, was 2K8. 2K8 was my funnest one. And the Warriors were like the best unknown team, and I'm a Warrior fan from the Bay Area, obviously. Most of you guys know that. But I would play with Baron Davis and Steven Jackson, Monte Ellis. To me, that was fun because I knew their shots perfectly, and their offense was fabulous. And Baron Davis, he was like Kobe in that game and LeBron in that game. Those two guys in that game were cheesy as heck. You could not stop them. Baron was the same way. He just did it differently because he would finish under the rim, and Kobe and LeBron would finish at the rim, above the rim, whatever you want to call it. But I knew their guys' shots, and I knew to sub out Monte Ellis because he can shoot no threes, to bring in either Azubuike or Bellinelli. They could shoot threes, and you could have spread the floor out and just cook with Baron Davis the whole time. The point that I'm making is that sometimes, like, your skill should be able to determine how good you are. And I don't feel like my skill is being shown in this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had nothing to do with that. He just threw a bad pass. And again, CPU computer accuracy and CPU wide receiver catching is all the way up, and the defense sliders for me are all the way down because it's on legend difficulty, and they couldn't throw for over 100 yards, and they got Randy Moss, and they couldn't run for over 87 yards, and of course Bennett, he did get hurt, but Wallace Hicks had a huge run, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I tried, we did Buffalo, we did Detroit, and now we done Chicago. And when I tell you that I have to remind myself that I won a Super Bowl, I have to remind myself that we won a Super Bowl in this series. Because it doesn't, I feel like I could win a Super Bowl probably every time if I don't throw picks. If I just take more sacks, rely on my defense, we're just going to win. Because the computer isn't going to have a great day passing. I think Chad Pennington this year had a decent game. But like, besides that, usually the computer's quarterback rating is going to be in like the 50s or lower. I believe Dante Culpepper's QB rating in this game is like 1.7. He has Randy Moss. And I gotta admit, one thing I love about this game, that I really love about this game outside of the animations and the way that the players move and interact with one another, is the fact that when you play against the Vikings, you play against the Eagles, they go to their main guy. And you feel like, okay, we got to stop it. They are going to target their main guy. And they targeted Randy Moss 5 times in the first half, which is still more than what you may see in Madden when you play the CPU. But he only completed 1 pass. And you can see in the stats here that Joey Harrington basically has like the same numbers as Dante Culpepper. When Dante Culpepper at one point was like a dark horse for like the MVP, I want to say it was like 2001, 2002 back then. And Harrington, he threw for more yards, 201. But like this game is closer, but we were up by like 10 the whole game, and then they kind of came back with a late touchdown. You see Harrington QB rating 17.2. Garcia, he came in, lit it up for a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like if I want my running back to run better, he should be able to run better without anybody else doing anything great. And my sliders aren't crazy. LJ, 26 carries, 108 yards, 4.2 yards per carry. Like, that's normal. That's not anything outrageous. And I don't know. So I think that I'm done. We're going to keep the Bucs franchise. I think I'm going to take a break from franchise. I want to have 2 series on this channel. So I might do a superstar mode and one of the older Maddens. And it plays like a franchise because when your superstar is not on the field, you play as whoever you want to play with. But, yeah, I don't know. It's funky, man. This game is just funky. And you already have the glitches that, like I already said, with the quarterbacks and D tackles and D linemen and offensive linemen and running backs going in the first round like crazy. But I was like, the gameplay, though, the gameplay keeps bringing me back. But then it's like, okay, but now it's not. Now I don't feel like the gameplay is keeping me here. So I don't know. That's just how I feel on it. I know some people feel differently, but that's how I feel on it. So we're going to wrap up this series with the playoffs. Hopefully we win the Super Bowl. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace, love, hot sauce.